When it comes to e-commerce, we're always talking about a specific edge, that 0.1 millimeters that you need to be able to achieve to compete better in this competitive marketplace. And as an e-commerce business owner, it doesn't matter if you're B2C or B2B or industrial, there are very few things that you can do to really achieve that edge. When you build an headless e-commerce infrastructure, you differentiate yourself from 99.9% of the competition out there. So today, we're gonna talk about the benefits of headless e-commerce when it comes to BigCommerce, Shopify, and similar technologies. First and foremost is enhanced performance and speed. If you want a website that loads in milliseconds and that impresses the hell out of everybody, headless e-commerce is the right way to go. Technologies like Versus optimizes the front-end loading of your website by leveraging server-side rendering and static site generation. This results in skyrocketing your loading times, better SEO results because now you're providing a better experience to your user, and at the end of the day, this increases your user experience, therefore your conversion rates. Because let's face it, there are few things you can do to really increase performance and conversion rates, and this is one of them. Again, imagine your site loading so fast, it doesn't matter what kind of connection you're on, it doesn't matter what kind of browser you're accessing the website from, it just loads fast. One of the reasons this technology works is headless decouples your front end from your back end. What that means is every time you click a website link, it needs to look for that specific content in a database. With the headless technology, that's not what it does. It separates the front end experience from the back end experience, and that's why it loads incredibly fast. The next benefit is scalability. With the infrastructure of headless e-commerce implementation, you are getting into a serverless infrastructure. What that means is if 1 million people access your website or try to access your website at the same time, if 10,000 people try to go to your checkout at the same time, your website doesn't slow down. Now, if you're on BigCommerce or Shopify, and if you're on a shared server or a semi-dedicated server, which is likely, your site is gonna freeze. With headless e-commerce, you will not have that problem. So the order will always go through, that product page will always load, and that money will hit your bank account every single time. You will not get calls from customers stating that they cannot open a web page or they cannot check out or they got an error in the cart. None of that will happen. And this is my favorite, your website will not slow down because another website that is on the same server as your website is getting a bunch of traffic and hits. The next benefit is the flexibility in design. Platforms like BigCommerce, Shopify, Evolution, 3D Cart, Shift4Shop, Miva, they have template structures. Headless allows you to fully customize this independent of the template structure of the e-commerce platform. Meaning you don't have to worry about upgrading templates anymore, you don't have to worry about adding the footer design anymore, you don't have to worry about going back to the template every time you want to make a unified design change on your e-commerce website. Everything happens through the headless infrastructure. The next benefit, which is one of my favorites, is you are able to do crazy functionalities and customizations with the headless technology. Vercel is my favorite. Work with Next.js, so you're able to build these crazy custom configurators, step-by-step ordering processes, back and forth quiz answering type of responses when it comes to e-commerce. You're able to give a very personalized experience to the end user. If you sell any kind of custom product, you're able to do live previews before adding to cart, live previews before checkout. These are functionalities. And again, headless enables you to do that in the most efficient manner. The next benefit is an omnichannel approach. Your website might be accessed from different browsers, different servers. Let's say you want to have a hybrid app on the iPhone or Android to be able to offer to your customers. Headless implementation allows you to do that very efficiently and allows you to serve the same content, have the same experience, the feel across different channels. Next benefit, I mentioned it in the beginning, is SEO. Headless gives you server-side rendering, which means that your site and your pages load faster, because it's on the server side, it's indexed faster by the search engine. And getting indexed faster means that you can rank faster. You are the first one to get out there. If you look at any news channel, any legitimate news website, they are all on headless technologies right now. Why? Because it's server-side rendering. When you put out news, and if you're relying on getting 1 million people because you want to put out that news first, you got to be the first. You got to be the first one that's indexed. And that's why this works like a charm with the search engines. Let's say that there's a manufacturer, and let's say that there are 1,000 distributors of that manufacturer brand. Now, all of these distributors, and you can think about like a LED TV, like a Sony LED TV. Best Buy sells it, Walmart sells it, Amazon sells it. How does the search engines decide who to rank or which one to rank when the product is first published anywhere online? Server-side rendering, headless, make it possible for you to be the first one that's indexed. If you're the first one that's indexed, that gives you a huge benefit. Now, I can keep going for hours and hours. Better technology stack, future-proofing your e-commerce business, making sure that you are beating the competition by being the fastest, the most optimized, the first to get indexed. These are all the benefits of headless. Now, headless e-commerce implementation is not cheap. It will cost anywhere from $20,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars if you're doing over $50-60 million. But it's a price to pay due to the fact that average headless implementation that we've done increase conversions by at least 10%. So let's say you're a brand doing $5 million, and let's say that you implement the headless, and with the benefits of your conversion rate, SEO, etc., you should go up about 15 to 20% in just 12 months. And these percentages, these numbers are very legit. In my opinion, there's a limited window of opportunity for e-commerce businesses that want to catch that competitive edge. And right now, while I look at everything, there is nothing better than a headless implementation and headless e-commerce infrastructure that will help you achieve that. Now, we've done this with superior lighting. If you just look at all of the functionalities of superior lighting, look at the mega menu, look at the filters, look at how fast the filters are actually loading, and look at how fast the search result bar is loading, and how fast every single page loads. And you can test it for yourself. I'll show you the next one, which is stronghold safety. We built this in about, I think, 4 or 5 months or so. And you can see how fast this page loads, how fast the filters load, how fast the search loads, how fast the product pages, cart, and checkout loads. And this is the weapon that you get when you go to a headless e-commerce implementation. So my question to you is, what will you do to differentiate your e-commerce business in 2025?